Remember this scene that people attribute to Anno's anime style in 2016 Shin Godzilla? Now check this scene out. This is Day of the Kaiju, directed and written by Kazuhiro Nakagawa. He was the second assistant director on the two live-action Attack on Titan movies and Shin Godzilla, as well as the director for a few Ultraman Z episodes and directing Godzilla Appears at Godzilla Fest, and most recently Godzilla vs. Hedorah, short film for Godzilla Fest 2021. With a resume like this, I think we'll be seeing a lot more from this director, maybe even his own Toho-produced Kaiju film in the future. We will just have to wait and see, but if you're into this kind of stuff, I'd be paying attention to Kazuhiro Nakagawa. Hi, my name is Trey, and welcome to my channel, where I like to talk about everything tokusatsu. Remember, if you go watch one of these indie kaiju films I cover, most are made by non-English speakers, so if you do leave a comment for them, make sure you say something short and nice. Also, please don't say something like, show more kaiju, or needs English subs. Independent films are almost always shot on a tight budget, and they do the best they can do given the constraints of time and said budget. With that being said, I hope you learned something new and enjoy the video. Day of the Kaiju starts after the kaiju has already been killed. Kinda similar to the movie that came out in 2022, and after a month of floating at sea, the carcass finally washes ashore. The main character, Dr. Nagamine, a marine biologist at the University of Marine Science and Technology, along with his senior professor, are tasked to examine the dead kaiju in an attempt to determine if the kaiju is truly deceased. Nagamine soon finds himself trapped between forced concessions to the government and the safety of the town, where the corpse of the kaiju lays. I don't want to say too much about this film's plot because it's only 30 minutes long, and it's one of those films you should just experience without knowing too much. But I will say a few things that I did like about this. I love the film's focus on the humans and how Day of the Kaiju story is more about the moral choices the main character has to make and the consequences he must face because of those choices. The film is well acted and the characters are believable in their dilemmas. There is one scene that feels a little off, but other than that, the acting is great. Just like the acting, the production value is good too. Sometimes the indie films can suffer from various things, but Day of the Kaiju's high production value can make you think you are watching a high budget short. The ending is the payoff for this film. It gives you the sense of satisfaction and conclusion to the main character's story, and although the ending is no major surprise, and there's a cliffhanger, it's one of those endings you should see for yourself. A little trivia, the island mentioned in this scene is a reference to Godzilla GMK, where Godzilla attacks an island of the same name. Now let's watch the trailer.
単刀直入に申し上げよう。我々はあの巨大生物の死体の保管施設をあの海岸に建設したいと考えています。
どうして浜江町にそういった施設を作んなきゃいけないんですか。
あの生物はすでに死亡しています。地域住民の皆様には一切危険はございません。
この段階で死亡判断だなんて危険すぎます。生態も何も分かってないんですよ。
あの生物の保管庫を作ることになれば年20億という交付金が浜江に支給されます。
町には子供だっているんですよ。
そうよ。国の方針に従うべきです。
あの怪獣に絶対的な安全などありません。
怪獣いらない。どこにも危険なんて存在していない。この町もあの巨大生物も。
真実の追求こそ僕の仕事です。
The film has 311 references that Western audiences won't pick up on too quickly. First is the fictional town in the film, Hamai. It could be based on the real town of Namai in Fukushima, Japan. Second, the washed ashore kaiju is another 311 reference about nuclear waste. So keep these things in mind while watching the film and later while forming your own opinion on it. Well, that's all I have to say about Day of the Kaiju. I highly recommend it. Of kaiju independent films, it's one of the best, and director Nakagawa seems to be on a trajectory where he will be making many more kaiju films in the future. You can find the film on the director's YouTube page. I'll post a link in the pinned comment and description box below. It also has English subs, thankfully. Well, if you got this far, I want to say thanks, and I hope you found a new kaiju film that you liked. Well, anyways, I'll see you next time. Later.